Like the question I ask myself is, if I saw an ex-girlfriend from the past, would I ever want to say anything to them? Like, what's the point?
Depends on how the relationship ended. If it was like a
Well,
mutual,
I don't think any of my relationships ended well. Okay, I can't sit there and say they all end, because otherwise I would be with them, right? But I
not
think
necessarily.
no, I think I'd be with them. Otherwise, the relationship ended really poorly, in my experience.
Well, yeah, but it could be like a mutual, like, yeah, we're not right for each other. Peace out.
Yeah, because even if you want to kind of get laid, so you're like, ooh, let me talk to her. I'm seeing her out of nowhere. Let me talk to her. I don't even think I'd want to do that either. It's like, yeah, I've been there. I've done that. What's the point of doing it now?
And then
Because there's so many, especially like we're always in Manhattan. There's so many women. There's so many new women. Why speak to somebody from the past?
after the point of you getting laid, you're gonna realize like, oh shit, this is exactly the reason why I don't want to be with her in the first place.
Yeah, man.
You're gonna hate yourself and her even more.
Men know that once what's a fancy word
Intercourse.
for orgasm? Once they climax, can they say it? Can you say that?
That doesn't sound right.
It's okay, you get the point. All right. Once a man
Once
is
they
done,
once they,
once a man is done,
bust down
then
the door.
suddenly he's like,
Once the door's busted.
suddenly he's like, whoa, where am I? What's going on here? Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
you wake up, you get back to your senses.
They wake up, they get back into their senses. So
It's kind of fucked up.
I feel like sleeping with an ex-girlfriend would totally be like that. Once you're done, you're like,
That's
whoa,
why
why did I do this?
That's why one night stands are not good.
I hate one night stands, man. And I didn't have many of them, but when I lived in the city with my friend and I experienced two one night stands, the second one was okay. But was there more than that? I only remember two, honestly, so that's probably all I had. And then the first one, it was just a really bad experience. And honestly, me personally, I'm not a fan because I feel like I really need to connect with the person. Not to sound like a female, but me personally, I enjoy sex more if I connect with the person. Otherwise, if it's just like, oh, hey, I don't even know who you are, let's do this
thing. Weird, like you're a stranger. You don't know what they've been up to and who they've been with before, and it's just weird.
I mean, technically, you could say that about your girlfriends too, but you just know them on a better level.
That's true. They can have double lives.
And you see, this is just like that movie, Don John. Did you ever see Don John?
Yeah, when he's like addicted to porn.
Yeah, you saw it, right? So again, he had this hot girlfriend, right? Scarlett Johansson. She was so gorgeous, but he couldn't connect with her.
He hooked up with the old lady.
Right, the sex was bad, and he was still addicted to porn. Spoiler alert, by the way, it's too late. But anyway, so then he hooked up with Julianne Moore, a middle-aged Julianne Moore. Now, granted, she still looks good, but she doesn't look as good as she did when she was younger, and she's definitely
much older than him.
Right, and she's much older than him, and she definitely doesn't look better than Scarlett Johansson.
No
but
way.
He connected with her, and he enjoyed the sex with her a lot more, and that is so. Yeah, Julianne Moore is attractive, so you still need to be attracted to the person, but that connection is everything. He hated the sex life he had with Scarlett Johansson in the movie. So that's something to know.
Well, listen, you could have a hot girl and have the worst sex.
That's what I just said. That's exactly what I was just saying.
Yeah, exactly. So you're right. And or guys go after women who have the perfect bodies, and that doesn't necessarily equate to you having the best physical experience with them either.
Yeah.
So because people look different also when they take off their clothes.
Yeah, so, my future wife never has to worry about me cheating on her for two reasons. Number one, I really need to connect with someone sexually.
You could still do it like on the train.
What?
Or the bus.
What?
Connect with someone sexually.
You're right. Maybe.
Now your future wife is like, he's got a point. Shit.
But I was also thinking I'm a germaphobe. So I feel like I can't just sleep around. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm afraid to catch some shit. You know what I mean? Because I remember I was in health class in 10th grade, and I'll never forget how the fucking teacher told us You have to wear a condom during sex because this one guy, he had sex with all these different kinds of women, and the one time he didn't wear a condom, he got AIDS. And I don't think she'd make that up. I really don't think she'd make that up.
That's worse than getting pregnant.
Absolutely worse than that. I was never worried about getting a girl pregnant because I figured it's much better to get a girl pregnant than to get an STD.
I'm more worried about that than STDs.
No. Are you fucking crazy?
The chances
are disgusting.
Obviously.
And a lot of them can be fatal, bro. What are you talking about?
Fatal?
Yeah. You know that even like syphilis, even though you can cure it because, with antibiotics, if you don't take care of it on time or properly, it's fatal.
No, syphilis can be cured.
Yes, it can.
It could go away, but it's always in the blood.
No. Syphilis is...
No, maybe that's herpes then.
Herpes
Should we be talking about this? But I think that there's a higher chance of you getting someone pregnant than STD. I mean, it depends on what kind of woman you're going with.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
What do you mean?
I think you can catch an STD. What do you mean? So you just said you can get a girl pregnant. There's a higher risk of that than getting an STD?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Granted that you go for certain...
I think it's pretty fucking even. If anything, I think it's easier to get an STD than to get a girl pregnant. Abso-fucking-lutely.
It depends on what type of people you're with.
Yeah, I guess. Should we be talking about this?
I don't think so.
I don't think we should be talking about